What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Deadstock Media. Today our focus is going to be on a fresh release from Nike and one of the long-standing partners that they're known to do collabs with. This time we've been treated to a few new colorways on a classic silhouette, that being the Nike Low Top Dunk. The Passport Pack from Nike and Union has launched over the last few weeks, and just like the collaborations that we've seen over the last few years, including Jordan 4s and Jordan 1s, the hype surrounding these team-ups was just as high. We're lucky enough to have a pair of the Argon models here with us today, and we're going to crack into those so you can see all the design, comfort, and just hype surrounding these shoes in general. Before we make the jump though, I'm Tyler with Deadstock Media, and if you're into all things limited release, if you're into hard to come by colorways, I think you've landed at the right channel. And if you want to join us on this slick journey to fill up our closets, then don't be afraid to gently nudge that subscribe button down below, and then turn on all notifications so you never have to wonder when we post. But without any more delay, let's get to it. I don't think saying how hyped I am really encapsulates just how hyped I am to be doing this showcase for you guys today. Part of it comes from I've never landed a Nike Union release on release day or without having to drop exponentially more than what the shoe is worth. So a little bit of that excitement is coming out right now. I mean, we as sneakerheads face a lot of pitfalls that get in between us and landing shoes that we really want. So landing this pair with an organic W is rejuvenating. Like, it gives me the steam to tackle 10 more L's on my way to my next W or whatever stat comes my way. Before we start showing off this shoe though, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background information about this release and the Nike collaborative partners that they chose for it. So Union, they are a skate culture sneaker shop based out here on the West Coast in LA. What's funny is their very first store actually opened up in Brooklyn in New York back in 1989, 1990, somewhere around there. Not funny, haha, but funny, interesting, because people tend to think of it as a West Coast company, but they had their roots back in New York in the late 80s, early 90s. Now, it was originally founded by a husband-wife team, Chris and Beth Gibbs. They were at the forefront of, being a shop where young folks were just gonna come and swoop up the shoes that they were gonna rock to skate, or just the shoes and clothes that they were gonna be fresh in. Now Union has done their own thing and done their own selective partnering throughout the years, kind of pushing that same mantra through the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and they're still pushing the envelope here in the 2020s with regular Nike and Jordan collaborations. I mean, we've seen Jordan 4s from them, Jordan 1s, Jordan Team Deltas. They've kind of run the gamut there. Now, other than just having the Jordan and Nike collaborations, the consistent thing here has been the following and the fan momentum behind every release that comes out of the Union doors recently. Every shoe is hard to come by. If you do find them on the resale market, you're looking at 3, 4, 5x what they were retailing. So you can start to understand why I'm hyped to have this pair to show you. So Nike and Union decided to drop 3 iterations of this classic shoe on us, dubbed the Passport Pack. All 3 of them utilize a different color palette to get their message across, but consistently they all have packaging that it's a nod to jet setting and traveling around the world, and there's some pretty dope detailing that we're going to check out along with the shoe. All right, you guys, for any of y'all that have been here before, you tend to know that we break down the packaging first, and this is going to be no different today. Really distinct box, actually, not a run-of-the-mill one at all. First things I notice, the green color to it, the Nike branding, the Union branding on it as well. The pattern to the box has it looking almost like lizard scales, in my opinion. But as you start to break down the detailing, you see that this box itself is classically designed after an airline ticket. It looks like you're boarding something with this box. I mean, location codes, what airline you're flying on, your destination. One of the shoes even had a baggage claim tag attached to it. The detailing doesn't stop there. When you open the box up, you'll see that the paper that wraps around the shoes is actually designed to look like your passport. It's plenty of stamps from locations all around the world. I mean, France, Italy, Canada, Japan, they all get shout outs. Nobody's left out of the party. Tucked amongst the packaging, you have a spare set of cobalt or sport blue laces. That's in addition to the pearly whites that come pre-laced and ready for you. So now that we've talked about some of the dope accessories that aren't going to be on your foot, such as the paper in the box, let's talk about the dopeness that actually is going to be on your foot. Now, I'm actually going to lead with something that's pretty interesting about all three of the Nike Union Dunk lows that just released. All three of them, their uppers are wrapped in a material known as ripstop, and that's the cross-hatched material that you see pretty much around the entire shoe. Now, ripstop is designed to be removed from the shoe when the wearer wants to expose the leather underlays of this shoe. While I'm not going to be removing the ripstop material from this shoe here, there are plenty of creators that have done just that. So finding a video of the naked version of the Argon, probably not going to be that difficult. As we move through this video, I'm going to do my best to allude to all the colors and fabrics that we're talking about, some of them hidden, some of them not. I think I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that there is a hidden piece of art underneath all this wrapping here when you're ready to unwrap it. As we get into dissecting this shoe, I'm probably going to be giving you guys my own biased opinions about certain things because there's a lot to love about this shoe. Personally, I really love the color blue, and as you can see just from wrapping around here, there's no shortage of blues hues to be found on this shoe. The toe box, the mid panel, around the heel here, all seem like they're going to be the same blue. And from what I can see, it's a pretty rich, deep blue, cobalt bordering on purple in there. It's probably pretty close to the Halo Man logo that you see in here, as well as the Nike branding on the back. Now your mudguard, your lace anchor, the heel overlay, all this is going to be its own distinct blue, and it looks much more like a sky blue or a pastel, something closer to the lining of the shoe itself, or the piping of the tongue, or even the Nike logo on the tongue itself. So here's one of those design elements that I thought was pretty cool when I first saw it. The swoosh and this Nike tab back here are both a patent leather material. They're very sleek to the touch, and they have a matching almost cross grid pattern to them. I don't think I can catch it here, but it's similar to the ripstop material itself. Also, this tab back here is not attached all the way down, so if you want to get in here to snip away that ripstop material, this makes it pretty easy to navigate. The tongue and the laces are both white. The white laces come preloaded for you, and the tongue has its own ripstop material to it. If you peel that up, you'll be welcomed by a white leather tongue. Seems pretty sleek, and it goes with the color motif pretty well. Now this next part I purposefully held off on mentioning because it's deserving of its own section, and this is going to be one of the elements that is going to be a pain in the side of a lot of resellers and consigners all around the world, and that's the purposefully messy orange stitching. I say that because stitching for buyers and sellers alike is typically used to verify the authenticity of shoes, and if a stitch is off or if there's a pattern of being off, it's very easy to say that the shoe is not legit. But as you can tell from the fraying and the double or even triple stitching some places, this may be a difficult one to verify for a lot of people. Going back to the actual design element of it, I didn't think I was going to be a fan of the orange stitching. I didn't think it was going to look well on this this backdrop, but I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong. The orange hits really hard here, and it makes everything stand out that much more. Not that this shoe needed any help, but I'm with the orange. Let me know what you think. Just a little bit more of the branding element here. On the heel, you have the Union Halo Man, and then you have their Union LA tag right here on the mid panel. Really like the subtle nods. They're not all up in your face, and maybe you wouldn't even know what you were looking at if you didn't know what you were looking at. We're gonna turn the shoe over and check out the hypnotizing translucent blue sole, also with the Halo Man here in pink. The bottom of the shoe gives me Legend Blue Jordan 11 vibes, or even bubblegum ice cream vibes. Maybe it's just because I'm a bubblegum ice cream fan here, but let me know if I'm alone or if you were on that hype right there too. there you have it, everybody. Fresh unboxing of one of the dopest kicks to hit the line in April of 2022. That's the Nike Union collab on the Nike Dunk Lows. We were hyped to have these here to show you. We're going to be hyped for whatever the next projects from Union and Nike may be, whether that's a couple months from now that they release, whether that's a year from now that they release. I expect the hype to be just the same, and hopefully we're sitting right back in this chair doing an unboxing on those too. From sick colorways to materials you don't see elsewhere to even just furthering their own story. The Union product line has really sunk its teeth into me, and I mean, I'm here for it all, so I hope you are too. And if you took anything from this video at all, don't be scared to hit that like button or share a comment or gently nudge that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't happen to miss any of the heat that we post when we post it. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. This has been Deadstock Media. I'm Tyler, signing off.